Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
Ryan lost his voice. I'll be doing the rest of this review completely solo.
Oh,
look, his voice came back. Okay, today we'll be talking about Fliptoons. Fliptoon is designed by Jordi Aiden and Renato Simoes, and it is published by Thunderworks.
All right, so in this game, you're basically a cartoon. You're trying to get the most amount of fame. Fame is your victory points in this game, but it's also your currency. Every round, you're going to gain fame, and then you're getting back down to 0 at the end of that round. What you're doing is you are taking your starting hand of cards, much like a deck builder. You're going to lay them out in front of you in a tableau, in a 3x2 grid, and you're going to get fame based off of where they all land out. Then you're going to use that fame to buy new cards. Every turn, you're going to get 2 actions. Those actions can be either to buy the new cards, using the fame that you've earned, or you can dismiss cards, which we kind of call trashing cards, like in a deck building format. Because again, this is very similar and very akin to a deck building game. It takes 5 fame to dismiss a card. Some cards are cheaper, especially your starters. But other than that, it's 5 fame to dismiss something. And then you can buy from this row of cards, based off of where its location is, you can buy using that much fame. Each one of these cartoon characters is different. So then when you add it to your deck and shuffle it back up again, wherever it lands up in that grid, it's going to give you more and more fame. What you're trying to do is you're trying to get to 30 fame. When you get to 30 fame, you're going to trigger the end of the game. Whoever that person was who had the most fame that round is going to get the Critics' Choice Award, which is a bonus 3 fame for the next round. But just because you triggered the end of the game does not mean you win the game. There's still one final flip where you take all your deck and you do another final flip where you lay out your tableau, you lay out your grid of the 3x2 cards. And then at that round, whoever has the most fame wins the game. Don't forget to add in the extra Critics' Choice 3 bonus points because you earned that. And you're going to need it because just because you did well one round does not necessarily mean you're going to do well the next round. The winner of that final flip is the winner of the game, has the most fame, and goes on to become the next Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck or Bugs Bunny or whoever.
So one of the things that I thought was so cool and interesting about this game is the cards don't have a cost assigned to them. They have a number assigned to them based on how good the game thinks it is. So based on that, you line them all up in a row based on that number system, and then above them is the cost. So there's always going to be a 3, 4, 7, 10, 15. There's always going to be that cost out there. And based on the number of the cards on the card is where it's going to line up. And I just thought that was so cool and how it changes as the game changes. So in that first round, you're probably going to score at most, I think 7 is the most you can score in that first round. But as you see, that means you can't get a 10 or 15 card. Like, you just can't get it. But you're able to start something right from the beginning if you wanted to. You can still get, even depending on how the cards flip, you can still get a pretty decent card in just that first round based on how things go on. And then they're going to readjust. So as more cards come in for you to hire, it's going to adjust based on the number of that card. And I just thought that was so cool that they didn't have this imprinted cost automatically on them that would affect the rest of the gameplay, but that the cost varied by what was available and how they were presented. And I just thought that was a really cool system.
I like trashing in deck building games, and again, I'm going to relate to that. It's not quite a deck building game, but it has strong deck building elements to it. Trashing is always an option. Again, you get those 2 actions. You can either both be purchasing cards, both be trashing a card, or both, or one of each, right? And so trashing a card is always an option. You might even buy cards for a short amount of time, just for the idea that it'll get you to the next tier. But eventually, it's not good enough to get you to the top tier winning condition, but it's enough to get you to the next tier up. So you buy them for a short time, just knowing that later on you're also going to be dismissing them. All right, so it's almost like in Power Grid. If you played Power Grid, you know that you need to buy some, you're going to have these low-level power plants, and then you're going to have to buy kind of some mid-tier ones, but even those aren't going to get you to the final game scenario with a win. You need to use those to get you enough money to get to the top-tier power companies top tier power plants so that you can actually win the game. So you kind of need to buy up so that you can buy even more up. And furthermore, getting rid of and trashing all the cards as you're going that are no longer part of your at your level of where you want to be. So you should always be trashing. In fact, if you have a huge thick deck of cards because you never trash, chances are you're still going to get some weak cards in there, that things that don't really plan out and match your strategy. So take advantage of dismissing those cards.
Yes, dismissing. We're not throwing any of these cartoons in the trash. We're just dismissing them. No longer have use for us.
Everyone says trashing when they're playing.
I like how all the cards score differently. Some of them are just base, they just give you points, but a lot of them score based on what you have in your discard, where they're going to light up in your tableau, which is really fun because you'll purchase certain cards in hopes that they line up in a certain way because they're going to score more if they're in this column or if they're in this row, but that's not always going to happen because you're just putting out the tableau. But then there's cards that you're going to place on top of different cards, so you can even have more cards in your tableau than just those 6 cards. So I really like how all of the cards do different things and that there are different strategies in the game as well. It's not just like this one path to victory. Once you have this card, you automatically won. It's not like that. It's a game where it just keeps on kind of evolving as you evolve it as a player. And when you're playing with different people, people can do different things, purchase different cards, and still have a different outcome with who wins.
I can teach this game to anyone. I was taught it in 30 seconds, and that teacher was fantastic. So now when I teach this game, I use the same method and just explain it as kind of a deck building and lay out the 6 cards and see what happens. And I can teach it to anyone, anytime, anywhere, and I have taught it a whole lot of times. In the past couple of weeks, I've probably taught this like
4 times?
No, I think more than that, because at our getaway, we played it. I taught it to a bunch of different groups there, too.
Okay.
And yeah. And pretty much universally, everyone was like, I like that a lot.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be a silly throwaway card game. Turns out, no, I liked it a lot. And that matches what we were told at Gen Con, too, at the Thunderworks booth. They have all these big, grand, really excellent games, Yeah. And they were expecting to, that's kind of been their clientele for a long time. And so they were selling those games really well, right? But they were like, Fliptoons, this is really fun. We like it a lot, but it's not going to do well at our booth. Yeah. Our fans like, these more involved games.
It wasn't the flagship game.
Right, so they set it out. They're like, it's an easy one to teach. We'll set it up and we'll sell a few copies. No, because it was so easy to teach, it was so easy to get people into it, they sold out. It was going like hotcakes.
Yeah.
So Fliptoons, very easy to teach, very accessible, but still lots and lots of fun.
Yeah, I liked this game, and our girls liked this game a lot, and it lends itself for them for repeat plays. For me personally, I played it once, and I'm good. I'm ready to move on to a different game. I liked it, but I didn't need to go back to it. But it feels like I'm the only one in my life that doesn't need to go back to this game.
Well, again, I like deck builders, and it's Deck Builder E. Our girls love deck builders, and it's Deck Builder E. And it's just a good time. It gives you that guise of control, like you have a strategy going in. Some of the cards just don't land where you want them to or need them to, and some of the cards do have a random result, so that might be your strategy too. Yeah. So it gives you a little the guise of control, but really you don't know what you're going to lay out there until you lay it out there, and you have to work with what you get. I just love this game. I am very endeared towards it. I don't like playing games back to back to back. If I played a game, even my very, very, very favorite games, once I've played them once, I'm good shelving it for 6 months and then bringing it out again. So that way it's special every time I play it. For whatever reason, this one has just struck a chord with me. I've been playing it nonstop, and I don't want to stop. In fact, I want more. I want expansions. I want to see new numbers, new cards, new characters, do new interactions, because I like it that much. But it's brand new. It just came out like a month or 2 ago. So Fliptoons, for me, an absolute home run.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. Until then, you can follow us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
You guys, thanks so much for watching. This game was provided to us by a publisher in exchange for a fair and honest review.
And if you want to see more stuff, check out over here to see something we think you might like.
And over here, we think that YouTube has picked out a great video for you you're going to love. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.